Hey everyone, thanks for your patience as I made some important adjustments to our calendar and our workflow. I've really been thinking about making these alternative ways for you guys to process and complete your work as unique journalists, but then that has to trickle down into the next thing. And so I'm ready to launch for you our big shift into the expansion stage. Now, the original deadline for just giving me a final copy of your short article copy was Tuesday. That'd be tonight. But I shifted that over to Thursday. And if you're a day off or so, that's totally fine. I'm going to try to go in there and kind of mark things up on Friday morning and account for everyone's work. And remember, at that stage, I'm just counting paragraphs, counting words, counting sources, going for your completeness and the amount of work that you're doing. And then I will be commenting as we go along. But first things first, you're earning credit for the completion of those steps. All right, so you can submit now if you're ready, or just whenever. The next thing you're going to do is prepare a working copy. So we start the quarter with our short article copy, and then we're going to move into a working copy that we do some rotating activities upon in order to grow, develop, improve, and establish it. And we will end with our expanded article copy, and that will be what we publish for Exchangers Magazine. So the project is published now for the working copy. This is going to be due Sunday to a new discussion board. That's the only thing I haven't published yet, so just look for that later. I have some other instructions to set there, but all you have to do is by Sunday, post your, just imagine you're going to post your title, your image, your short summary of your work, your shortened bio, and a link to your article copy. But now it's going to be called a working copy. And so you're going to add a title, if you haven't done so already, create subheadings within your article, play around with the formatting if you haven't done that already, apply that color coding work if you haven't done that already. Again, that just makes it a better working copy for the kinds of activities we're going to be doing on repeat for the next 4 weeks as a publication team. And then any questions, background questions that you received in the discussion board for the short article copy, I want you to keep track of those. I want you to move them onto your working copy. And so go find the places in your article where these comments and questions feel relevant, highlight your article copy, and just plot the question. So do you have an example of this? Is there any data to support that? What's the number of people? Has anyone ever been impacted by blank? What about cost? Any of that stuff. Just find a good place to keep a record of it. And I'm asking you guys while you're there, while you're doing that, to read through your own articles and ask yourself as many questions as possible using those same 4 question types. So now you're going to do that to your own work, and you're really just plotting as many questions as possible. We're kind of like breaking it down into parts, labeling it, color coding it, figuring out the anatomy of your article, and then plotting some places where you might explore adding content, clarifying content. You're not actually doing the expansion, you're just prepping for it. So yeah, you can click and submit that to the discussion board as soon as it's ready, but Sunday's going to be your deadline. Now, one of the things that we're going to do in order to expand this working copy is source evaluations. That's a pretty significant part of this English 102 experience. It's a significant aspect of being a journalist and putting forth credible sources, like a team that backs you up when you go and you present your article, your writing, your argument. And so we're going to take time to develop, to improve that team, to trade out sources and all of that. And there's a pretty specific template and some resources to support source evaluations. You're going to end up with 10 in 4 weeks, and a few will be due every week. But for this week, all I want you to do is take one source. You're welcome to use a new one, but just take one of the sources, to keep it simple, that you already have gathered for this short article and plot it onto the source evaluations document. And the intention here is to get familiar. And so at least one source is due by Sunday. And, explore, give it your best shot. I don't expect it to be done exactly the way that the project instructions lay it out. But what we do is you plot one, and that gives me a chance to get in there and only reply with comments. Could you add this here? Could you answer this question? Could you expand? What I actually meant is. And then once you have that feedback, you can use that to make some adjustments and plot 3 more. And then I go in with some more comments, and we just rotate with you doing a little bit of work, me giving a little bit of comments, you doing more comments, all the way until May 26th, which is when that source evaluations project will actually be assessed for any kind of points. But I share all of that just so you know that the full instructions are available to you, but don't dive too deeply into them to the point where you stress yourselves out. Just kind of try to get the gist, and then put forth one source as like this. Is this what you want? And know that it's something we're going to work on over time. To recap, you are going to by this Thursday submit your short article copy for me to just mark off that you've done it. And then by Sunday, you are going to prep that working copy and submit that to a discussion board that I will publish very soon. And you will complete one source evaluation. As a sneak peek into the following weeks, really, this will happen 4 times, you will, on a weekly basis, do expansion. So I'll provide some kind of guide that says, here are the things that you could do and consider and ponder as a way of finding a moment in your article to grow. Like answering the questions. That would be, the first one, the most obvious one. You're going to look at somebody else's and say, hey, I really love how this is going. This spot is awesome. What if you grew it here? Or what if you considered polishing it here? So you're going to give other people suggestions. When we mentally switch to someone else's work, sometimes that little break can give us fresh perspective to come back to our own work. We will research and find more sources, and then we will expand our own projects. We will look at someone else's project for perspective. We'll do some more of our own research. We will do some more expanding. We will look to someone else's project for perspective. We will do some more research, and we'll just rotate like this. And if you are like, but I can't keep up with Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, then you'll do Wednesday, Sunday. You'll just do your best to stay in the mix. And mostly all of this stuff will tally at the end of the 4 weeks. So this is a turning point, but this is really the point where I'm going to start getting into the mud with you guys and planting seeds and ripping out weeds. And why am I being so aggressive about this? Anyway, I'm done now. Keep your eyes out for that discussion board to go live, but just have your work ready to post. Just start working on the project itself. Reach out if you guys have any questions, and I look forward to giving you credit for your work and starting to really collaborate with you on your projects.